Orshi, thanks so much for jumping on and having a chat about your experience. And we were just sort of talking offline a little bit about your progress. And obviously, I've been super proud with how far you've come, but also just your attitude throughout the program and getting the help and problem solving and whatnot. And which look, we'll go into obviously what you specifically did to give some people some help about with their business and whatnot. But I mean, first and foremost, I'd love to kind of just hear about you and your business and what you do, and potentially where you were at before we had met and engaged with the program.
Yeah, hi Via. I'm an exclusive distributor for a baby supplement brand from the supplement brand comes from the USA. And so I'm running this business for 14 years now, and we only distribute to New Zealand, to the New Zealand market. Um, so the business started out a little bit of an e-commerce back 14 years ago was very, very different, I have to
Yeah.
say. And then we put the product into the pharmacies, and then that's become our main focus for until really even after COVID. Um, so the e-commerce side of the business was very tiny compared to the wholesale side of the business. And so recently the pharmacies with all the discount chemists came into New Zealand, the pharmacy sales started to drop, and I had to relook at the e-commerce side of the business. So I had to actually start to look into a bit further, and we transferred into Shopify. So integrated Shopify to the website. And that was, I think, around 2019 or 20. And since then, we running the e-commerce side of the business through Shopify. And yeah, it's just being in the program being a huge, huge, huge transformation to the business. Like I just, as I said to you just before, I can't believe that actually we can achieve
Mm.
the sales we're getting through the e-commerce site, which was our goal to make up for the lost pharmacy sales.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I can imagine over 14 years, there's been some challenging times. And as you said, like e-commerce wasn't what it was 14 years ago. And obviously you were focusing on the wholesale until such time it was, I guess, a necessity to kind of try and transition over. And from what we were just saying before, your plan is to basically balance the scales the other way, where it's mostly e-commerce and you have, I guess, the choice to do the wholesale with margin and product availability and everything like that. And any other factors that are, contributing to the retail market at the moment. So it's good to obviously have those options. I mean, when you sort of came in, like what was the situation? Was it getting bad in terms of your online sales and the margins and wholesale? Like where were things at? You mentioned you had cash flow constraints a few months, but even before joining the program, like was that where things were at, where it was just like you were getting to the end of the month and you weren't seeing much profit, or where were sort of things at beforehand before jumping in?
Yeah, so the situation was, let's say at least bad.
Yeah.
So the pharmacy sales dropped basically to half
Mm.
compared to the previous years. And we had supply issues as well. So when I was thinking about the program, I was like, oh, no way I can do it. We had a loss last year. The profit wasn't there. Then I had to get this huge stock first time, where before we just ordered on demand. Like as I was running low on the stock, I could just get the stock. And the first time I had to get a huge stock in. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what I'm doing.
Mm.
um, yeah, it was a scary time. And so basically, when I just was thinking that, for mentorship to, pay extra for that as well, I was like, no, no way, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I think most the people are like that. So when, like we think like, oh no, if you don't have stock or if you don't have extra funds for the stock and we already borrowing for that and then, like pay on top of that for a mentorship program. It's just like, oh my gosh, what I'm doing. What if it doesn't work?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, just on that, was that, did you have reservations about jumping in? And you're obviously at a bit of a crossroads with the business about getting help with it or not. Like, yeah, how did you sort of feel before you jumped in? Were you nervous?
Oh, very nervous. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, as you know, it's a lot of scam out there,
Yeah.
like a lot.
Mm,
And then I've been before with advertising agencies, and basically, the cost was high and the
mm,
sales dropped while they were on board.
mm,
So it was very difficult to get out from a contract. And also, I have only 5 products
mm,
altogether. So I just couldn't see the value that how an e-commerce mentorship gonna help me with 5 products distribution and also my advertising very restricted. So I just can't just create whatever I feel like. We can't say this, we can't say that, because it's a supplement, especially for babies.
mm.
Even the reviews, if they say a wrong word, I have to get back to them. Sorry, we can't say that. I cannot change your review.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very tricky industry to be in, and then also because and I also have to follow ASA, have to follow the headquarters, so I can't change things on the website as I would like to have it because the
Mm,
branding to be you know the branding has to match, so there was a lot of things that I just thought, I don't know if a mentorship program going to work for me,
mm.
and and then yeah, it's just yeah, I had a lot of reservation, and as you know, it took me months and months and months.
Yeah. Yeah. And what was it that was like, yeah, well, let's do it. What was kind of going through your mind then? What was the just gave you the confidence to go and do it?
So I was getting this huge stock in,
Mm,
and with the pharmacy says being low and the shortened expiry dates, I thought, if I can't sell it, I basically, I can just close down because, I have to prepay the stock, and I couldn't even reach the pharmacies. So for a meeting to see what the order is gonna be like, and I'm doing Google advertising, and it was working, but yeah, I didn't really do any of the Meta
mm.
and advertising, so no Facebook. I had a bad experience back a few years ago, so I stopped it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when we had a chat, and you basically said that you can help with Meta, Google, SEO, website. Um, and and the other thing was that I was gonna get someone on my website to add some apps.
Mhm.
And when I got back the quotes, they were like really high. For everything, I
Mm.
basically got a quote from a developer or someone just who could set up these apps. When I add all this up, I was like, oh, nice. When I just joined the course.
Yeah. 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 Good exchange. And yeah, yeah, as you said, it was probably a meeting of a lot of factors and coming to a bit of a crunch, I guess you could say, of like, yeah, I got to do something. Otherwise, the alternative, as you said, going out of business. And that's always good in a good way, a hard way. It's good to have that point where you have to make the decision and jump in. And obviously, when it works out, which is, a lot of the time, if people can help you with, your business and see what the move you need to make next, obviously that's going to, bring the benefit. And for you, I think you mentioned you basically doubled your online sales, if not more, which is awesome. Awesome to see selling the stock out, running out of stock, good problems to have, as they say, which is amazing. And so what strategies have you particularly used? I'd love to just kind of hear where you got the support. What strategies have you used that are successfully that would obviously be helpful for other people to hear as well?
So the first one was I actually reached out to the group and asked them what to implement first.
Yeah.
And and they said definitely do Klaviyo first, the email marketing. So that was like, oh my gosh, took me ages to set it
Mm.
up. But and also I thought, oh my gosh, all these floors, really, do we need it? All this I'm a bit lazy on the campaigns. I haven't done any campaigns this this month, but the floors are all set up and working. So that was my first thing. And I have implemented all the trust badges on the website, which really
Mhm.
helped.
Mm.
Uh, and also did some, yeah, with the website, I did some work as well. And then the next one was Google with Kirk.
Yeah.
So the Google advertising. I actually was running Google advertising for 13 years, and I thought I'm really good at it
Yeah.
until I met Kirk. So he's really a master of everything. He just finds every little things. And basically, I started to work on that, categorize the products out, and again, a lot of help from the group as well. And Kirk, of course, but
Yeah.
and the last one was the Facebook. I really didn't want to do the Facebook ads, and I was like really holding it back until last minute. And when the Black Friday sales, everyone was doing in the group, and I never did it. So I thought, oh my gosh, everyone is doing it.
Yeah.
I should be, jumping on the same wagon. And I thought, okay, I just try it. So that's when I set up the Facebook ads just before Black Friday. And it was so much fun. But and also, I didn't think that it would work for my product because
Mm.
my products are like it's for colicky baby or. So I thought, "Oh, why would it work for a Black Friday?" But it did, and somehow I did, and order just coming through. I was taking pictures before the courier took the orders away because it was like mind blowing,
Mm.
and yeah, it makes you feel really good as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, so since then I'm doing the Facebook ads, and with your help and Kirk's help, it's really like I didn't think it's so complex, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
It was a very much like a surprise
Yeah.
because I did some boosts on Instagram. They, didn't really work,
Mm.
and the previous Facebook ads I did, it was just a picture and the back in 2018 19 or whenever I set them up, probably even earlier, it was very easy. You just put up a picture and then like you add a budget and that was it. Like now it's a very complex platform, like it's nearly getting to the Google Ads platform. And in the program, how you just, walk through everything, what to do, how to set it up, even just the columns on the top, what to check for, and what, like it's just like it gave me so much knowledge. It's unbelievable. Like I'm kind of enjoying to doing it. Like
I mean, it's amazing. And you're the sort of person that thrives on challenges. I know that. And yeah, well, I completely get what you're saying. And so the whole goal, as you know from the program, is that self-empowerment. Yes, certainly every discipline can be challenging. Some people take to numbers and algorithms and, ad platforms faster than others for sure. But like taking on and acknowledging the responsibility of us as business owners that we have to drive the ship is everything for us progressing and getting to where we want to get to. And so that's what's been a really big thing for you and me observing you is like you're just there, you're showing up, you're asking the questions, you're taking the action. Yes, it's challenging the first one, two, three, four, five times sometimes, but then you've got the skill and you've got the skill for life, right? And so that's where, again, just really acknowledging your work and your diligence and problem solving is huge because we can give you everything and we will give you everything and give you all the support. But at the end of the day, like if you don't show up to calls, if you don't ask for help, like we can't do much about that, right? And so again, that's where it's been awesome seeing you progress and reap the rewards because yeah, like when we say it all the time, when you set up your first ad, set up your first email, set up your first flow, it's like walking for the first time, right? But if you just have the right attitude, the persistence, the urgency with the action taking, And then you start to see the rewards from it. You're like, this is fun. Like it's fun when we're winning, and that's why it's great to be in the environment as well. And like, you've been great in the community. Have you enjoyed the community element as well? They've been helpful and valuable to you as well.
Yes, definitely a lot. It's a very lonely space to be in e-commerce,
Hmm.
you know, and I have a small family, so it's like it's mainly on my own, in the office. And it's just I just feel like sometimes like, like I just want to get out
Yeah.
a walk or something or be within people.
Hmm.
And I'm really looking forward to the meetings. And most of the time I just listening into it when I don't have any questions. But it's just so nice to see others on the meeting and the support from the group. It's amazing. Like that's another thing that my friends they all work usually for someone, so not
Hmm.
for themselves. They don't own a business. Very few does, and it's like to share challenges or excitements about something that is going well. They, like they, of course, they're happy for you and they try to help if you have a challenge, but they can't.
Hmm.
It's like
Yeah.
rather than just give you the emotional help, it's all gonna be okay, But like when you have a real technical thing and then you just write in the e-commerce group and just ask, like you can bet that a few people had the same challenge and they sorted out somehow and they give you like they give you a support and they give you a lot of times just step by step what you have to do. And many times it's just a very small thing, but you spend hours or even days on it. You can't find it and you just don't know and you already contacted support and you already and you did everything and you're like, oh my gosh, it can't be that difficult. Why no one can sort it? And then someone in the group, oh yeah, I had that. You just do this. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I should
That
have asked
happens all
first.
the time. It's such a valuable resource. And as you said, like that's probably the thing I hear the most actually from feedback from people is like, I can't believe how transparent and helpful people are. And it's because, everyone's been in the same position. And so it's like paying it forward. That's why I actually set up the program first, is because it's like, we've done all this stuff. I can help you with this. That's like the crux of it, basically. And so to have the community that basically like self-perpetuates and everyone is very involved is so amazing. Like I'm blown away by it as well. I'm so impressed with it. And again, you're a contributor as well, so it's great because I know that you would do exactly the same thing for people who are asking questions that you've solved something. So it goes hand in hand. But it's been, as I say, amazing to have you in. There's such big things for you in 2025. We'll get your stock sorted, but you're ready to scale ads like as we spoke about this morning. So it's really, really exciting about how far you can go. One kind of final thing, like just knowing what you know, having the wisdom being on the other side of getting help and seeing some great success with the business up to this point. Like, what would you say to people who are where you were, prior to joining, when you were, struggling and asking questions about the longevity of the business? Like, what would you sort of say to those people, just knowing what they're kind of going through or where they're at the moment?
Well, the Nike slogan, just do it.
Yeah. Yes.
Like even in the program, you say that a few times, we don't have to be perfectionist and just do it. And that helped me a lot.
Mm,
And, I always overanalyze things, and before I coming onto the program, I overanalyzed it, oh my gosh, how much I do I have to sell to cover the program? How do I have to, how is that gonna like, I made budgets and everything. And, the help in the program and the small group size, you know, this is another really big advantage of the program, the Ecom Blueprint. It's just, you can join programs in the USA or somewhere where they have hundreds of people on a call. So you
mm,
have to be in a luck to get a one-on-one any help. You probably take out some from other people's problems, but a lot of times our problems doesn't match other people's problems, or you can kind of work on it, but not exactly your problem. But on your program, yeah, it's like it's just really from all the angles, like if that's a website or is that the advertising or just a group calls, even the members group calls on Monday, it's extremely, extremely valuable. Like it's so many different from from so many different angle you get the help. It's not just the technical help, but also the group calls. We always have someone always helps someone on the group call. Like it's unbelievable. And because the group size is so small, like you feel like you are in family or you feel like you are with your best friends.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so, I would say that, like if anyone just thinking about joining the program, um, don't think twice.
Yeah. I use that a lot, like the just do it in a lot of contexts, because I just have to keep telling myself that with decisions that I'm just fatiguing over. And I'm really just glad you brought up the intimacy of the community as well. Again, that's a huge priority of mine and what I sort of had visions of. I never want it to get so big that there are hundreds or dozens even of people on calls, because you just don't get the support. You need the nuanced support for your specific business, and the ability to ask questions is so, so valuable. So I'm really glad that you brought that up, and thankful for, your sharing your experience as well. So, again, congratulations. I mean, this year is going to be awesome for you. I'm really positive and excited for you. And yeah, it's just inevitable now that you've got the confidence and momentum rolling forwards, that that's going to happen. So that's really exciting too. So yeah, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts. And I'm sure it's much appreciated by me and obviously people who are going to be watching as well. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Will. Thanks so much.